Okay, question number 16. Kelly has a mortgage of $840,000. If you wish, we could take that number. That would be the present value, which would go right here, to the Tangerine Bank for a vacation property. The mortgage is repaid by end of month payment, so that means PY is 12, and the interest rate is 4.8% compounded monthly. So 4.8% would be the value for IY. Compounded monthly means CY would be 12. For a term of 2 years, but that is not what we look at. We look at the amortization over 17 years. That is what will determine N. N would be 17 times 12, and that would work out to some number. We will do that with the calculator. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that. Future value should be 0, and the payment is indeed the number we would like to compute. All right, so let's start. Let's get the calculator up here and let's clear it out and start. So PY should be 12, and it is already. If not, you could enter it. PY is 12. So how many years? Well, we're looking at the amortization, not the term of the mortgage. So 17 years, second, N, and this turns out to be 204. So let's wipe that out and put in 204. All right, the interest rate is 4.8, so 4.8 interest rate. Present value is 840,000, so 840,000. That is the present value. We're computing the payment, and 0 goes in for the future value. So we compute the payment, and the payment turns out to be $6,031.42. Now, that is what the computed value is, but we have to round it because we only deal in dollars and cents, and it says to enter the rounded value into the calculator. Now, if you forget to do it, it wouldn't really matter, but let's do as we're instructed, 6031.42. And it's negative, we're paying, and we insert that into payment. All right, what is the balance when the mortgage is renewed? Now, it's a term of 2 years, okay? So that is how normally mortgages are, or when you're negotiating to pay off a mortgage, there's an amortization period, which means if it were at 4.8%, that payment should pay off the mortgage in 17 years. But sometimes these rates, they fluctuate, they change. So, okay, so this term was for only 2 years. Okay, so after 2 years, how many payments were made? Well, they were 2 times 12. Okay, so after 2 years, sorry, let's go back up there. So after 2 years, 2 times 12 equals 24 payments were made. Okay, the 24 payments were made. So it means that this P1 value should be 24. And this P2 value should also be 24, and then we can calculate the balance. All right, so let's go to the calculator, and we go second PV, that's the amortization. We put in 24 for the P1 value, and we put in 24 for the P2 value. And we get a balance, and that balance is 772,848.31. Okay, all right, that is the balance now after the 2 years. Now this balance here will be the present value for when the mortgage is negotiated or renegotiated for the next term. Okay, so we are given some information. At the end of the 2 years, Kelly will renew the mortgage for another 2-year term at the new lower rate of 4% compounded monthly. So the compounding is still monthly, but now the rate is 4%. Previously, the rate was 4.8. Okay, now the payments, it says here end of month payments. So PY will also 12. Now, how many years are left? So we have to go to the number of years remaining on the mortgage after 2 years. All right? And how many years are remaining? Well, we started at 17, so 17 minus 2 would put us to 15 years remaining. Okay? Remember, the amortization was indeed 17 years. So after 2 years, there are 15 years left now for the rest of the amortization. So when we calculate n, we will use 15 and not 17. So it'll be 15 times 12, and that will work out to be a number. All right, now we want to find the payment, the end of month payment. Okay, so this is what we're computing, the PMT. Future value is 0, and let's go and use the calculator to do the rest. Now we have the balance. Now we can go and just click on present value, and the number is in there. How do I know? Well, let's come out of here, and I recall the present value. And there you are, 772,848.3149. All right, good. Now let's go back, and we are inputting this new set of numbers, right? So PY is still 12, CY is still 12. But the number of years has now become 15. It is no longer 17. Remember? That is what we were doing over here. We subtracted the 2 from the 17 and we got 15. So let's put in the 15 and go second and n, and the number should be 180. So in here we put 180, and we can go back now and delete the calculations we had there. All right, 15 times 12 gives us 180. Okay, now the interest rate is now 4%. Previously it was, remember, 4.8, so we go 4 IY, and it's entered there. Now we did enter this present value from this balance up here, so we can just recall it to be sure that that is the number there. The future value is 0, and we compute the payment. And the payment turns out to be $5,716.67, rounded to 2 decimal places. We will now submit and see how our calculations turned out, and they are correct, as you can